Hey there, I'm Rob Sawicki, and I'm an account executive here at Sigma.
Hi, Rob. Thanks for joining me today to talk about the latest challenges and solutions in AI. Let's start off by talking a little bit about your background and what you're hearing from clients.
So, I've been in the AI space for almost 5 years at this point, tech space for about 15, AI for about five. And speaking with clients, you see a lot of repetition. You hear a lot of the same complaints, the same struggles, the same challenges, regardless of industry. And all of those, almost all of them, really center around that data annotation process, the data training process to bring a proprietary AI to the marketplace. And maybe that's just you don't have enough data to actually work with to begin with, enough quality, high accuracy data. Maybe you don't have enough staff to actually annotate and train that data to clean it up to make sure that it's viable for your algorithm. Maybe it's the fact that you have security concerns regarding government compliance, whether that's CCPA, GDPR, the EU AI Act, whatever that might be. Or maybe it's just the fact that you're dealing with a whole lot of different biases and hallucinations that appear in your output because the people that you've actually employed to annotate data come from a very small subset group of individuals. But most of the challenges that I've encountered from my client base comes from that data training and cleaning process.
Human data annotation is definitely a huge issue. It can be costly, especially if you don't do it right. So, how does Sigma step up to handle this?
And that's really where AI plays in terms of taking a lot of those challenges on that front end, taking them off of our clients' plates, and allowing their data scientists, their data engineers to do more so what they do best, get them back to their actual work, their business critical work, and let us take care of that data cleaning process on their behalf.
Okay, well, there are a lot of flavors of data annotation companies out there. But what stood out to me was that four out of the five global tech giants are Sigma's customers. Tell me more about why.
Sigma really specializes in the more complex workflows. We have PhD experts who have created these proprietary overlays that work on any tool set that create these feedback loops that ensure that quality on every single step of the workflow process.
But quality is really changing, isn't it? It's not just a matter of accuracy for traditional AI anymore.
So when I first joined the AI industry, most of our use cases were on things like NLP and CV, where the definition of accuracy is very much black and white. It's are you within 1 pixel for semantic segmentation? Yes or no. It's very much is this accurate? Yes or no. When you get into things like large language models and you get into things like generative AI, the definition of quality of accuracy is far more ambiguous. When you have a prompt and it generates a response, is that response accurate? Sure, you could at a very high level say yes or no, but there's far more nuance associated with that particular output. Here at Sigma, what I've seen behind the scenes is training our annotators to make sure that they're able to tackle these generative AI use cases specifically, in terms of training them for things like their creative thinking, in terms of what's their writing capabilities, in terms of not just being able to speak a language with accuracy, but to understand things like nuance and cultural context, things like that.
So tell me more about how Sigma creates that quality, especially when there's so much nuance involved. I understand there's a major vetting process and no crowdsourcing at all, but then what?
So beyond our vetting process, we have an equally rigorous training process that ensures that our annotators are well suited for the workflows that our clients present to us.
And what about the problems of hallucination and bias?
So at Sigma, we take an ethical approach to AI, not only through our hiring practices in terms of who we hire, how we hire and compensate those individuals, but also through the actual business outcomes it provides to our clients directly. By having a more diverse cultural background in terms of our annotators, we're able to mitigate many things like hallucinations and biases that might naturally result from a more homogeneous set of annotators in the workflow process.
Okay, so a lot of companies need human data annotation for their AI projects, and they want to bring them to market quickly. But maybe they've exceeded what their internal staff can do, or they're working with a data annotation service, but they need to ramp up faster.
Sigma provides unmatched scalability in the industry today. So whether you want to begin with a very small pilot and ramp up to full-scale production, or begin at full-scale production from day one, our existing pool of over 25,000 vetted and trained annotators are ready to go from day one. In addition to our human annotation workforce, we have automated processes in place that can really help amplify the workflow process, amplify our throughput, and really help you bring your AI to market faster.
Security concerns are another big issue in AI, particularly when it comes to protecting sensitive data. How is Sigma different from other companies in terms of privacy?
So Sigma is the leader when it comes to data security. Not only do we comply with ISO, SOC 2 Type 2, GDPR, etc., but also we are the leader when it comes to establishing secure facilities across the globe. We currently have secure facilities based in Madrid and London and are in the process of building multiple in Eastern Europe as well as Miami, Florida. Furthermore, if you need to have your data comply with data residency laws, regardless of what country in which you reside, that is something we can adhere to as well.
And you've seen it in action, right?
Going behind the scenes with Sigma, going into the actual secure facilities and seeing the work that was being done specifically, as well as the built-in overlays in terms of ensuring the quality from the get-go, as well as those feedback loops built in that are directly routed to project managers that are being reviewed daily and being fed back to the team daily, where multiple eyes are looking at that exact same loop, it was astounding that we are really taking that efforts to make sure that that quality that we deliver to our clients is accurate from day one. Because the more that you have to send it back and it has to be reworked, that's more time it takes our clients to actually take their AI to market. And furthermore, the more it actually costs them to get that AI to the market to begin with.
Okay, let me ask you, you're living and breathing this stuff. Where do you see AI and the data annotation industry going?
The industry is definitely moving towards your generative AI. It's definitely moving towards your large language models, but we still have use cases for CV. And to see the actual nuances that have to be done with semantic segmentation, with objects overlapping other objects, when it comes to the actual hours it takes to do one particular image, I've seen examples that other companies I've worked for would have said, we're not taking on this workflow. It's just far too complex. It's going to take too much time, and it's not really worth our effort. And the fact that Sigma is able to take on these workflows is just absolutely incredible.
Thanks, Rob, for your insight. And if people want to know more, they can reach out to you directly or check out sigma.ai.